My beloved child, stop scrolling. Not because someone is forcing you. Because something inside you already knows this message is different. Pause. There are moments in life that look ordinary on the outside, yet quietly determine the direction of your future. A conversation you keep delaying. A truth you keep avoiding. A dream you keep postponing. A decision your heart already understands, but your fear keeps pushing into tomorrow. My beloved child, most people think life changes through giant events. It rarely does. Life changes through small moments of awareness. A realization. A decision. A choice to stop running. A choice to finally listen. And tonight, you are standing in one of those moments. Think honestly. What have you been postponing? The apology? The boundary? The healing? The new beginning? The difficult truth? Because delay has a cost. Not always immediately, but slowly, quietly. One day becomes 1 week. 1 week becomes 1 month. 1 month becomes 1 year. And suddenly, people wake up realizing they lost precious time. Pause. This is why the door in your title matters. The door represents opportunity, growth, healing, wisdom, a new chapter waiting patiently. The tragedy is not that the door is closed. The tragedy is when someone never opens it because fear convinced them to wait forever. My beloved child, fear is a skilled storyteller. It says, later, tomorrow, when you're ready, when circumstances improve, when people finally understand. But growth speaks differently. Growth says, start now. Take one step. Trust the process. Learn while moving. Think honestly tonight. What opportunity has been knocking quietly for months? What truth already knows your name? What future keeps waiting for your courage? Because some opportunities do not disappear suddenly. They fade slowly through neglect. My beloved child, you are not being called into panic. You are being called into awareness. Slow down. Listen. Notice. Because the next chapter of your life may not require more talent. It may simply require one brave decision. And that decision may be closer than you think. If this message spoke to your heart, comment. I am ready. Not for perfection. Not for certainty. But for growth. And if this encouraged you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that their future is built one decision at a time. Type Part 2 for the next chapter. The opportunity you almost walked past without seeing. Part 2. The opportunity you almost walked past. My beloved child. Have you ever searched desperately for a sign, only to realize later the sign had been standing in front of you the entire time? Pause. In Part 1, you heard the knock. Not a knock on a physical door. A knock on your awareness. A reminder that something important has been waiting for your attention. But tonight, we go deeper. Because many people do not lose opportunities because they are unavailable. They lose them because they arrive in unexpected forms. My beloved child, most people expect opportunities to feel obvious, comfortable, exciting, certain. But real opportunities often arrive disguised as responsibility, growth, discomfort, change, a difficult conversation, a new challenge, a step that requires courage. That is why so many people walk right past them. Think honestly tonight. What if the thing you have been avoiding is actually the thing that has the power to transform your life? What if the conversation you fear contains the freedom you need? What if the decision you keep delaying contains the peace you have been praying for? That possibility changes everything. Pause. My beloved child. Sometimes people become so focused on what they might lose. They stop noticing what they could gain. Fear narrows vision. Wisdom expands it. Fear asks, what if it goes wrong? Wisdom asks, what if this is the beginning? That difference matters. Because your future is often shaped by the questions you choose to believe. My beloved child, the opportunity standing before you right now may not be dramatic. It may simply be the chance to become more honest, more disciplined, more aligned with who you truly are. And those quiet opportunities create the biggest transformations over time. Think honestly tonight. What area of your life is asking for courage right now? Your relationships? Your purpose? Your healing? Your habits? Your faith in yourself? That answer is important. Because growth always begins where honesty enters first. Pause. Many people spend years waiting for certainty. But certainty rarely comes before action. Clarity often arrives while moving. Confidence often arrives after the first step. Strength often arrives after the challenge begins. That is why waiting forever can become its own trap. My beloved child, you do not need all the answers tonight. You only need enough courage to take the next right step. Because the future you want is not built in one giant moment. It is built through small acts of faithfulness to your own growth. And if you keep listening carefully now, you may realize the opportunity you feared was actually the answer you were seeking. If this message spoke to your heart tonight, comment. I will step forward. As a reminder to yourself that growth begins with action. And if this encouraged you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need this reminder today. Type Part 3 for the next chapter. The decision that will shape your next season. Part 3, the decision that will shape your next season. My beloved child, every future begins as a decision. Not a year from now. Not someday. Not when conditions become perfect. A decision. Made in an ordinary moment. Pause. In Part 2, you discovered that opportunities often arrive disguised as challenges. That growth rarely feels comfortable at first. That courage is usually required before clarity fully appears. But tonight, we stand at a deeper threshold. Because now the question is no longer, do you see the opportunity? The question is, will you act on what you already know? My beloved child, there are two kinds of people. The first group waits until fear disappears. The second group moves forward while fear is still present. And history is often shaped by the second group. Not because they are fearless. Because they refuse to let fear become their leader. Think honestly tonight. How many opportunities have been delayed? Not because you lacked ability, but because you kept waiting for certainty? How many dreams stayed dreams? Because you wanted guarantees? How many chapters remained unopened? Because you were trying to predict every outcome? That pattern matters. Because perfection is often the disguise of procrastination. Pause. My beloved child. There is a version of you waiting in the future. A stronger version. A wiser version. A more peaceful version. A version that already survived what you are worried about today. Imagine meeting that future self tonight. What would they tell you? Would they say, keep doubting yourself? Keep waiting? Keep postponing what matters? Or would they say, trust yourself. Take the next step. Stop underestimating what you are capable of becoming. Listen carefully. Because sometimes your future self already knows the answer. My beloved child. The decision before you is not really about success or failure. It is about alignment. Will you continue living according to fear? Or according to truth? Will you choose comfort? Or growth? Will you choose old patterns? Or a new direction? These questions quietly determine entire seasons of life. Think honestly tonight. What choice have you already made in your heart, but not yet acted upon? That answer matters deeply. Because your spirit often recognizes truth before your mind accepts it. Pause. The greatest regret many people carry is not failure. It is knowing they never fully tried. Knowing they kept shrinking. Knowing they kept waiting for permission that never arrived. My beloved child. You do not need permission. You need trust. Trust that you can learn. Trust that you can adapt. Trust that you can grow. Trust that one decision made with wisdom today can create a completely different tomorrow. And if you listen closely, you may realize that the future you want is already waiting on the other side of one brave choice. If this message touched your heart tonight, comment, I choose growth, as a declaration that fear will not decide your future. And if this encouraged you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this reminder. Type Part 4 for the next chapter. The door that opens only after you take the first step. Part 4, the door that opens only after you take the first step. My beloved child. Most people misunderstand how life changes. They think the door opens first, and then they walk through it. But often, the door appears only after they start moving. Pause. In Part 3, you stood before the decision. The moment where fear and growth faced each other. The moment where waiting stopped feeling safe. But tonight, you are about to understand something that transforms everything. Because the opportunities that shape your future rarely reveal themselves completely in advance. My beloved child. Have you ever noticed how headlights work at night? They do not illuminate the entire road. They only show the next stretch ahead. Yet somehow, people still reach their destination. Why? Because each step reveals the next one. Life often works the same way. You are not meant to see 20 miles ahead. You are meant to see enough to keep moving. Think honestly tonight. How much of your life has been delayed? Because you wanted complete certainty before beginning? The perfect plan. The perfect timing. The perfect guarantee. The perfect sign. But perfection keeps many people standing still. Pause. The truth is, clarity often follows movement. Not the other way around. Confidence follows action. Wisdom follows experience. Growth follows commitment. And the life you dream about begins responding the moment you stop hesitating. My beloved child. There is a reason this chapter matters. Because you are standing at a threshold. Not necessarily a dramatic one. Maybe it is a conversation. A habit. A boundary. A goal. A dream you almost gave up on. Something small enough to ignore. Yet important enough to change everything. That is how transformation often begins. Quietly. Think honestly tonight. What first step have you been avoiding because you cannot see the entire staircase? That question matters. Because the staircase was never the assignment. The next step was. My beloved child. Many people lose years waiting for certainty. Meanwhile, those who move forward imperfectly learn, adapt, and grow. They make mistakes. They adjust. They keep walking. And eventually, they arrive somewhere beautiful. Not because they knew everything. Because they trusted enough to begin. Pause. You do not need to know every answer tonight. You do not need to control every outcome. You do not need to eliminate every risk. You only need enough courage to honor what your heart already understands. Because sometimes, the blessing is not behind the closed door. The blessing is the person you become while walking toward it. My beloved child. The future is not asking you to be fearless. It is asking you to be willing. Willing to trust. Willing to grow. Willing to move. And if you take that step, you may discover that what looked like an ending was actually the entrance to your next chapter all along. Powerful ending. If this message spoke to your heart tonight, comment, "I will take the step," as a declaration that you will stop waiting for perfect conditions. And if this encouraged you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this reminder today. Type Part 5 for the final chapter. The breakthrough that was waiting for your decision. Part 5, Final, the breakthrough that was waiting for your decision. My beloved child. What if the breakthrough was never waiting for perfect timing? What if it was waiting for you? Pause. From the very beginning of this journey, you thought the challenge was finding the right opportunity, finding the right sign, finding the right answer. But now, you can see something deeper. The greatest obstacle was never outside you. It was the hesitation within. My beloved child. In Part 1, you heard the knock. In Part 2, you recognized the opportunity. In Part 3, you faced the decision. In Part 4, you discovered that the door opens after movement begins. And now, we arrive at the breakthrough. Not the breakthrough of instant success. Not the breakthrough of having every problem disappear. A more powerful breakthrough. The breakthrough of becoming the person who finally moves forward. Think honestly tonight. How many times did fear convince you to wait? How many times did doubt make you question yourself? How many times did you underestimate your own strength? Yet here you are. Still standing. Still learning. Still growing. Still searching for truth. That matters more than you realize. Pause. Many people imagine breakthroughs as dramatic moments. But often, the real breakthrough is invisible at first. It is waking up with a new mindset. Making a healthier choice. Refusing to repeat an old pattern. Speaking honestly. Protecting your peace. Trusting yourself one more time. These small decisions create extraordinary futures. My beloved child. You do not become strong in one day. You become strong every time you choose growth over comfort. Every time you choose wisdom over impulse. Every time you choose faith over fear. Those moments build a new life quietly. And one day, you look back and realize everything changed. Not because one miracle arrived. Because you stopped abandoning yourself. Think honestly tonight. What part of your life is ready for a new chapter? Your confidence? Your purpose? Your relationships? Your healing? Your future? That answer is the beginning. Because every breakthrough starts as a decision nobody else can make for you. Pause. My beloved child. Do not wait for the perfect season. Do not wait until fear disappears completely. Do not wait until every uncertainty is gone. Life is moving. Time is moving. And your future is being shaped by the choices you make now. Trust the growth that has already begun. Trust the lessons you have learned. Trust the strength you have built. And most importantly, trust that you are more capable than your doubts have ever allowed you to believe. Because the breakthrough was never hiding from you. It was waiting for the moment you finally decided to move. If you stayed through all 5 parts, then this message was not just entertainment. It was a reminder. A reminder that your future is still being written. Comment. My breakthrough begins now. If you are choosing growth, courage, and forward movement. If this series encouraged you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs hope today. And remember, my beloved child, the door was never locked. The key was your decision all along.